Class 5 Computer. Class 5 Computer. Today we are going to learn about algorithm and flowchart. Today we are going to learn about algorithm and flowchart. A very good day to my dear students. I hope you all are in good health. Stay safe and stay in home. A very warm welcome to you all. Let's get started with the topic. Do you know when someone builds a house? Okay, when someone builds a house, before construction, he makes a plan on a paper. It helps to modify idea to construct. Okay, so whenever a person is building a house, before construction he makes a plan on a paper to modify the idea to construct. If we do not do so, then after construction we may waste our money. If we do not make our plan, without making a plan, doing something is very wrong, because I don't know, because we don't know that whether it will work or not. Okay, so we have to make a plan. We have to see the idea is good or not. Then only we have to proceed it. Okay, so if we reconstruct any portion, what happens? It takes time. It takes time and effort. We use techniques known as algorithm and flowchart. If we reconstruct any portion, it takes time and efforts. To save time and efforts, we use techniques known as algorithm and flowchart. Any task that can carry systematically using step-by-step method. Okay, any task that can carry systematically, we have to use a step-by-step method, and this method can be performed by computer. Okay, nowadays the step-by-step methods can be performed by the computer. And we need algorithm and flowchart for defining the steps to do a particular task. So we need a algorithm and flowchart for defining steps to do a particular task. Programming is a process. So programming is a process to achieve a goal. Programming is a process to achieve a goal with the help of a computer. Writing a programs involves the following steps. Understanding the program. By analyzing it, we identify the output required. We also identify the various inputs. Okay, so for a program, it involves a following steps, and for understanding the programs, by analyzing it, we identify the output which is required, and we also identify the various inputs. Those will be required to produce the desired outputs. Those will be required to produce the desired outputs. Planning and developing the method. We use algorithms and flowchart. For planning and developing the method, we use algorithms and flowchart, which are very useful when you want to write a programs. Flowcharts and algorithms are very useful when you want to write a program. Writing the instructions step by step in programming language. Writing the instructions stepwise in programming language. Basics of algorithm and flowchart. Hello kids. How do you sharpen your pencil? Let us look at simple example on the steps to sharpen a pencil with a sharpener. Okay, now we have learnt about what is algorithm. We know the steps we are using for sharpening a pencil. Okay, when you sharpen a pencil, what you need? Your pencil, your sharpener, and what you do? You sharpen it easily. Okay, so now what are the steps? Let us see the steps for sharpening a pencil. Step number 1. Take the pencil and the sharpener from the pencil box. Take the pencil and the sharpener from the pencil box. Step number 2. Place the pencil inside the sharpener and sharpen it. Place the pencil inside the sharpener and sharpen it. Step number 3. If the pencil is sharp, if the pencil is sharp, go to step 4. It is said. What is step 4? Clean the sharpener. If the pencil is sharp, you have to clean the sharpener. Then else go to step 2. If the pencil is not sharpened, you have to place the pencil inside the sharpener and sharpen it. Then step number 5 is replace the sharpener in the box. You have to again place the sharpener into the pencil box. In the same way, to solve a problem in a computer, we need to understand the problem. In the same way, to solve a problem in a computer, we need to understand the problem. Gather the input. We have to first gather the input what we have to give to the computer and apply a proper method accordingly. What type of input it is, we have to understand, then we have to apply the proper method, and then only we have to give it to the computer to solve it, to obtain the desired result or an output. So this is it. Algorithm. So what is an algorithm? An algorithm is a step-by-step procedure to be followed. An algorithm is a step-by-step procedure to be followed to solve any problem. To solve any problem, we will not jump into the problem and just solve it. We have to see what are the required steps we have to do, then only we can solve the problem. If you want to comb your hair, what you need? You need the comb, then you need to open your hair and you need to climb it properly. Comb it properly. An algorithm is a step-by-step procedure to be followed to solve any problem. Features of a good algorithm. Now let us see what are the features we require to write an good algorithm. So first of all, see the steps. It is written using simple English statements. It is used to write. We write in a simple English statements. It is written using simple English statements. Each step in an algorithm should have a step number. That means step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5 and so on. And the last is the step should be written in a sequential manner. It should be in sequence. The step should be written in a sequential manner. That means if after step 1, what comes? Step 2. We have to write step 2. We cannot skip 2 and we cannot write step 3. It should be in sequence. So these are the features to write a good algorithm. Tech facts. The word algorithm is a combination of Latin word. The word algorithm is a combination of Latin word algorithmus and Greek word arithmus, meaning number. Okay, so the word algorithm is a combination of Latin word algorithmus and the Greek word arithmus. That means algorithm is the combination of Latin and Greek word. Example 1, that is algorithm to prepare glass of milk. Example 1, algorithm to prepare glass of milk. Step 1. Step 1. Take the milk from refrigerator. Take the milk from refrigerator. Step 2. Step 2. Pour the required milk in a vessel. Pour the required milk in the vessel. Step 3. Step 3. Light up your gas stove. Light up your gas stove. Step 4. Step 4. Allow the milk to boil. Allow the milk to boil. Step 5. Step 5. From the bowl of sugar, take a teaspoon of sugar and put it in the glass. From the bowl of sugar, take a teaspoon of sugar and put it in the glass. Step 6. Step 6. Pour the boiled milk into the glass. Pour the boiled milk into the glass. Step 7. Step 7. Stir it well. Step 7. Stir it well. And step 8. Milk is ready to drink. Step 8 is, that is, milk is ready to drink. So these are the steps to prepare the glass of milk. If you don't like sugar, you can avoid putting the sugar into the milk. So these are the steps how can you make the milk. If you want, you can add your favorite chocolate powder, that is Bournvita or choco powder, anything you can put it and drink. So these are the steps of this boy who likes to drink the milk in the way he said. Now you can express your way to drink your milk. Example 2. Example 2. Algorithm to find sum and product of two numbers. Algorithm to find sum and product of two numbers. So what is the step 1? Step 1 is start the execution. We have to first start the execution. Step 2. Input first number. Input first number, that is suppose A. Okay, input first number, that is suppose A. Number 3. Step 3. Step 3. Input second number. Input second number. Suppose the second number is B. First number is A and second number is B. You have to input it. Step 4. Step 4. Find the sum of the two numbers. Find the sum of the two numbers. That is, sum means addition. So you have to do A plus B. A plus B. Step 5. Find the product of the two numbers. Now you have to find the product of that two number, that two same numbers. That is A and B. You have to find the product. And product means multiplication. So how to find the product? That is A into B. You are going to find the product of the two numbers. Step 6. Step 6. Print the sum and the product. So after writing A plus B, you have to put enter. You will get the sum. And after writing A into B, you are getting the answer. That means you have to put enter. Number 7, step 7, stop the execution. Now you have to stop the execution. Number 7 is stop the execution. Example number 3. Example number 3. Algorithm to find the largest of any two numbers. Algorithm to find largest of any two numbers. Step 1. Start the execution. Step 1. Start the execution. Step 2. Input two numbers. Input two numbers, that is A comma B. Any number that is A comma B, you have to input two numbers. Step 3. Check whether A is greater than B. Check whether A is greater than B. If true, go to step 4. Else you have to go to step 5. If it is greater, you have to go to the step 4, and if it is false, you have to go to step 5. So suppose if true, then you have to print that A is greater, and you have to then go to step 6, that is you have to stop the execution. Okay. Now if it is not true, if it is false, what you have to do? Print that B is greater than A, and then you have to stop the execution. Flowchart and its symbols. Flowcharts and its symbols. Now you have learnt about the algorithm. You know now what is algorithm. Now we are going to learn about the flowcharts and what are the symbols which represents the flowchart. A flowchart is a pictorial and diagrammatic representation. A flowchart is a pictorial or a diagrammatic representation of an algorithm. Which is used in solving a particular problem. Which is used to solve a particular problem. Now, flowcharts can be drawn using different symbols by means of boxes and flow lines connecting them. So flowcharts can be drawn using different symbols by means of boxes and lines connecting them. They are helpful in understanding the logic of problem. So flowchart is a pictorial or a diagrammatic representation of an algorithm used in solving a particular problem. Flowcharts can be drawn using different symbols by means of boxes and flow lines connecting them. They are helpful in understanding the logic of the problem. Now let's see the symbols, their symbol's name and the purpose and what are the actions of it. So see, there are some symbols. And first symbol is known as the terminator. The first symbol is known as the terminator, and its purpose is to start or to stop box. Means whenever we are starting a flowchart, we can draw this, and when we are ending the flowchart, we can draw the terminator. And what is the action? It is used at the beginning and the ending of the flowchart. It is used at the beginning and the ending of the flowchart. Next one is parallelogram. Parallelogram. The purpose of parallelogram is input or output box. It is used for taking inputs and printing outputs. So it is used for taking inputs and printing outputs. Third one is rectangle. It is a process box. It is used to write processing instructions and calculations. It is used to write processing instructions and calculations. Next is diamond. Decision or condition box. It is a decision or a condition box. It is used for checking condition. Okay. Now next one is arrows. That is the flow lines. They indicate the direction and flow of the program by connecting the boxes. Next one is the circle. The circle is the connector. It is the connector. Now why connector is used? Connector is used to connect the parts of the flowcharts. It is used to connect all the parts of the flowchart. So you have to remember all the symbols, what are their names, what is the purpose of that symbols, and what is the action, why it is used. So it is very important to know and learn it properly. Basic rules for drawing a flowchart. So everything is having a following rule, so you have to follow that rule. So what are the basic rules for drawing a flowchart? Flowchart should be simple and clear. Flowchart should be simple and clear. The flow procedure should be formed from top to bottom and left to right. The flow procedure should be from top to bottom and left to right. Flow lines should not cross one another. Flow lines should not cross one another. Only one flow line should enter the decision box. Only one flow line can enter the decision box, but 2 or 3 flow lines can come out of the decision box. 2 and 3 flow lines can come out of the decision box. Only one can go enter the decision box, but when it is coming out, it can be 2 or 3. Now let's see the examples of some flowcharts. So there are 2 examples given over here. See it. How to find a square, area of a square. Now if we want to find an area of a square, what type of a flowchart we need? So first one is the terminator. First we have drawn the terminator and it's written start. Then one flow line as drawn, that is the arrow. Then we have given the parallelogram, which is the input side. We are putting the input. Then the rectangle box. The rectangle box is the process box, that is area equals to side into side. Then again the flow line, and then again the parallelogram. There will be the output printed, then the print area, then again a flow line, and again a terminator. Terminator means stopping. So we use the terminator at the beginning and the ending, right? So this is the example of a first flowchart. Now see the second one. Add any two numbers. Add any two numbers. So see, again we have drawn first the terminator and written start. One flow line and then the parallelogram, input number A. Then the flow line, then again a parallelogram, input number B. Then again a flow line and the rectangle, that is the process box, sum equals to A plus B. Then again the arrow flow line and the parallelogram. Again you are writing the output, that is print the sum, and then you are going to stop. Then you are drawing the flow line and the terminator. So this is how you draw a flow chart. Simply remember that in Microsoft Word 2010 provides the option to draw flowchart by inserting shapes. Yes, you know now, in last class we have just done. Microsoft Word 2010 provides the options to draw flowchart by inserting shapes. Select insert tab, click shapes from the illustration group and select the flowchart which you want. Okay. With the help of this you can draw in MS Word. Now see, one more example is given over here, that is classifying an animal as a herbivore, that is a plant eating animal, or a carnivore, that is a flesh eating animal. Now how to classify it with the help of a flowchart. First we have drawn a terminator, start, okay. Then a flow line. Then you have drawn a parallelogram and read the name of the animal. Okay, then again the diamond. Now diamond is the, what does the diamond do? Diamond is the decision box or the connection box. Okay. So does it only plant? Does it eat only plant? If yes, then another answer. If no, it will be the another answer. So you have to draw the two parallelograms side by side, and a flow line should be differently. So see, from one corner it is coming and joining. No line, and one it is yes. So if it is yes, then you will print herbivore, and if it is no, you will print carnivore. And then after both you have to connect both the flow line and you have to draw the terminator and write stop, and the flowchart is completed. So this is how you have to do. Algorithms and flowcharts in program development. Algorithms and flowcharts in program development. We have learned to write algorithm and draw flowchart for problems. These are the basic tools for developing a program. These are the basic tools, algorithm and flowchart, for developing a program. Now, what is a program? A program is a set of instructions. A program is a set of instruction written in a programming language. It is written in a programming language for the computer to understand and execute them. For the computer to understand and execute them. A program is a set of instructions written in a programming language for a computer to understand and execute them. Now there are some tools which is used for the programmer. So we will see in the next slide. Steps to develop a program. Steps to develop a program. Number 1 is understand the program. First you have to understand the program. Then you have to write the algorithm for the program in a sequential manner. You know, algorithm is written in a sequential manner, step 1, step 2, like that. And then number 3, then you have to develop and draw a flowchart for the algorithm. Algorithm you have written. Now from that algorithm you have to just you have to draw the flowchart. So first step is to understand the program, then write the algorithm for the program in a sequential manner, then develop and draw the flowchart from the algorithm. Now what is the fourth step? Use a programming language to write the program from algorithm and the flowchart. Okay, you have to use a programming language and write the algorithm and flowchart. Enter program into the computer. Now you have to enter it. Test the program. Run the program with the input data and obtain the result of the program. That is the output. So these are the steps. Now let's do the following exercises. Number A. Fill in the blanks. The steps in an algorithm should be written in dash manner. The steps in an algorithm should be written in a sequential manner. Number 2. Dash help in understanding the logic of the program. Flowchart help in understanding the logic of program. Number 3. Dash should not cross one another in flowchart. Flow lines should not cross one another in flowchart. Dash are written based on algorithm and flowchart. Programs are written based on algorithm and flowchart. Number B. State whether the given statements are true or T or false or F. Number 1. The word algorithm is a combination of Latin and Greek words. True. Flowcharts can be drawn using step numbers. False. Number 3. Flow lines should not cross one another. True. Algorithm helps in program development. True. Now match the following to the correct answer. Now you know how to match the following. So there is no number given or the alphabets given. So you just have to connect it. Okay. Choose the correct answer. Choose the correct answer. This method makes us to understand the logic of problem. This method makes us to understand the logic of the problem. That is flowchart. Number 2. How many flow lines should enter the decision box? How many flow lines should enter the decision box? Number A. 1. One of the following is used in connecting parts of a flowchart. One of the following is used in connecting parts of a flowchart. That is a connector. Next one is answer the following questions. First you are going to go through the chapter properly and you can easily solve these questions. Okay, so answer the following questions. Define an algorithm. Define an algorithm. Number 2. What is a flowchart? What is a flowchart? Number 3. State any 2 basic rules for drawing a flowchart. State any 2 basic rules for drawing a flowchart. Number 4, write the steps to develop a program. Write the steps to develop a program. So, do all the questions by your own. Till then, thank you.